So at these two microscopes, we're starting to learn that we're not just looking at pink circles. I have put side by side histology that looks at the thyroid gland and the seminiferous tubules. They both have repeating circular structures. They look both pink, but they stain differently. The thyroid gland has repeating structures called follicles, and they're surrounded by these cells called follicular cells. The pink staining substance in the center is called colloid. Colloid is another name for proteinaceous soup, and this is where the precursor for thyroid hormone is made by the follicular cells and stored until it's time for it to have processing and release. There are cells in between the follicles called parafollicular cells, and they also release a hormone, but not thyroid hormone. They release calcitonin. Both thyroid hormone and calcitonin are released from the thyroid gland, but they have very different outcomes. Thyroid hormone released from the follicular cells will change metabolism, and you'll learn more about that in detail in your lecture. Parafollicular cells release calcitonin, which leads to more bone deposition, and this is antagonistic to parathyroid hormone, which leads to more bone resorption. Over here we have the seminiferous tubules, which are the repeating structural units of the testes. We still see these circular structures. They are not follicles, they're seminiferous tubules. And lining the lumen of these structures, we find spermatogonia that go through mitosis and meiosis, basically to make mature sperm. Also found within the seminiferous tubules are Sertoli cells, also known as cestinacular cells, and they release a hormone called inhibin, which feeds back to reduce the amount of FSH. Outside of the seminiferous tubules, in between, we find Lytic cells. The Lytic cells are also called interstitial cells, and they are responsible for making testosterone, which helps promote spermatogenesis.